Hello everyone, this is the Underdoll, or aka the German Viking, and I saw Boogie acting like I just have to say it, to a complete moron. Especially his arguments are completely moronic. So I'm gonna read the tweets. I'm gonna put them in the video so we can see them. Let me try that again. Tonight, I discussed the UK hate speech laws that would affect trans people. I discussed both sides of the thing, presented possible arguments against it on stream. If you see clips from tonight's stream, do not be suckered into thinking it's real. I personally think if you are accidentally misgendering someone, it's an non-starter. If you, if you purposely, angrily doing it, I think a slap on the wrist, misdemeanor, is well within order though. If it's actual hate speech, then go fuck yourself, lock him up. Okay, where do we even begin with this statement? So the first suggestion he has is let's make it a misdemeanor if your misgendering is like a slap on wrist, and if you're just angrily doing it. So you want to now censor people based on their own beliefs. So people like Ben Shapiro, he would go straight to jail. And what I find interesting, these people always claim that the hate speech needs to be censored. Yet they never define hate speech. How do you define hate speech? What is actual hate speech? I had someone who is basically my first stalker on this channel, and I asked him to define hate speech on several occasions, and couldn't do it for some reason. Either he didn't know what the definition was, or just couldn't find any definition to give me. But this whole hate speech thing is just so lazy intellectually, and also when it comes to argumentation and putting forward an idea. How does limiting someone else's speech, where you don't even threaten someone, because I think you should have limits to free speech when you limit someone else's, defamation and threats. So you don't get to threaten other people or yell fire in a theater, for example, because it may harm someone else because of said speech. But that's because you're limiting someone else's freedom, and you're harming or potentially harming someone either physically or in regards to lies that can't be proven. So that's a big thing. So in that regard, I'm not a free speech absolutist. That you there are some occasions where you should suffer consequences through the court of what you say. However, saying something like misgendering someone should be basically, you should be fined and put into jail. That is a really, really dangerous precedent you're setting, Boogie. You're basically limiting. You have the First Amendment in the U.S., which you enjoy by putting out these tweets, yet you don't want to let someone else enjoy the same privileges as you are. These people are such hypocrites when they suggest these things because it aligns with their ideology. Boogie has been a fencer and a spineless coward when it comes to issues like this. And every time people call him out on it, he just retracts himself from the conversation and acts like a fence sitter again. Have an opinion, and when you get called out or challenged on it, then discuss it, not just retract it. Here, he has more tweets that he tweeted out. I don't expect that opinion to be popular, but it's how I feel. I'm biased though. I'll never ever verbally assault someone or purposely misgender someone, so it literally can't affect me. I can't imagine what anyone who would either. But see, with the Bill C-16 in Canada, you literally have to, by definition, a transgender person has a mental disorder. So you're basically telling everyone has to be nice to the mentally ill person, otherwise you should go to jail. Are you serious? So biology of facts no longer matter, and because you don't want to do that, yeah. So everyone else should also abide by these rules. And there is someone who had a nice screenshot of Boogie saying something. TLDR, Boogie is a white knight cuckold because he has become aware that rape threats are an extra kind of evil and only women have to endure them. So again, it's heavily biased just to one side. And here, for the entire context, never said that women deal with it much higher frequency, though. I've only been threatened to be raped a handful of times. So you're actually contradicting yourself. Most women I know deal with it daily. See, the only thing with only, it excludes everything else. Misspoken and none. As a person who has received rape threats, I disagree with what I type. Sorry, my friends. So yeah, so he's known to contradict himself. Now, we're all hypocrites at some stages of our life, or in some instances. I tell everyone else not to pre-order something, but I pre-order something like Pro Evolution Soccer. So in that regard, I'm kind of a hypocrite, and I also sometimes pre-order a collector's edition. But I advise people not to pre-order games, because I think I don't think it's a good idea. But I indulge in that hypocrisy sometimes, because I'm only human as well. And so here, Boogie, there is some harmful speech that is not protected by freedom of the press, shouting fire in a crowded theater, for example. But we're also talking about the UK here. Laws are a bit different. Regardless, I don't think you should be able to shout fire in a crowd anywhere. But that's not what you're proposing here. He's not talking about freedom of the press, he's talking about freedom of speech, which just means the government can't restrict what you can and can't say. Just news media in general, but news media, but in general. And that's exactly what's happening right now in a lot of countries. We began censoring people in the name of progressivism, which I believe is wrong. I completely agree with that. Censoring is wrong. Let people say whatever hateful shit they want in the right context. What? But who gets to decide that context? And Britain made it pretty clear, context doesn't matter when you make a joke, so you are fined and potentially jailed. I mean, there's a journalist right now facing jail time for misgendering someone. Are you serious? Are you serious? You want to think there's two genders? Well, hold on. You want to think there's two genders? There are only two genders. Biologically speaking, there are only two genders. If you have a problem with it, why don't you go and challenge Dr. Deborah So, who's a doctor in biology? Really, Boogie. This is so lazy. Say it to your friends? Fine, I don't care. Yell that at a trans person on the street, though, and I think you should get a misdemeanor. Sorry. Jesus freaking Christ, man. Jesus Christ. That is so hypocritical of and he also made a tweet. He's gone back on what he said, but because he's calling out for it, and basically what Boogie always does. It's just so hypocritical for a guy like him to say these things when he gets to make videos and benefit of said free speech on YouTube and through his Patreons or whatever, and benefit from free speech, but doesn't want to give the benefit of the doubt to others because they have other views as him. Say as vile stuff as you want, as long as you don't threaten someone else's freedom of speech. That's my own principle. If you're a Nazi, if you're a Muslim, if you're a Christian, if you're a Buddhist or white supremacist, black supremacist, whatever you are, you get to say whatever you want, as long as you don't threaten someone else. And well, why is it different when you're misgendering someone? Insults or misgendering someone in general should not ever be a crime, and then free speech should not be punished. Jokes should not be punished. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye.